This case is totally a mess. There's no right communication with this accuser and the lawyer, and the boss, he never shows up because he's afraid he will be sent into prison.
They have been sentenced to 20 years altogether. So, what are they saying to you when they knew, after knowing that they have been sentenced to 20 years? What are they saying to you?
I haven't had a chance to talk to them. All right, they all covered. The boss is already selling them. All right, what they say? What do they say?
So you all remember that video I talked about? It was basically about this situation about the Chinese nationals who were trafficking Malawians and smuggling them into the country. I don't know. The ones who were charged like 20 years age. These individuals were convicted by the Gauteng High Court for human trafficking, forced labor, child labor, breaking immigration and labor laws, etc., etc. But I find this thing off a bit. Listen, bro. Reports say that the prosecution asked for life sentences because, I mean, these are, if you think about it, these are serious, grievous, is that a word? These are serious crimes. Yet, all of them got 20 years each, which is actually 10 if you think about this country. 20 years in this country is 10. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do some research into it. I'm gonna do some research as to how sentencing works in this country. But I think I heard something about how 5 years is actually 2.5 years.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So a day isn't counted as a day, 24 hours. It's 12. So a day is actually 2 in prison. I don't know. I should do my research. But something is off with everything. Something's off with everything. Why would Cyril Ramaphosa all of a sudden start praising EDA? Exactly my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, cat, since this country is fair, since we are the Rainbow Nation, Madiba's kids, if you are sick, courts sometimes impose lesser sentences for humanitarian reasons. Yet that was an old lady who's, was sick, high blood and all this stuff. And she's wheelchair bound because apparently she just had a stroke. But she was also sentenced to 20 years as well. Something is off. And maybe I'm not making sense, but something is not. There's a variation in the number of victims and children. Some say 91, most of them say 91, Malawians, and then 20-something kids. Some of them like 80, and then, like there's inconsistency, even in the naming of the accused. It's hella inconsistent, bro. And I feel like it's deeper. So so those who follow the story would have noticed someone. So apparently I think that woman, the old woman, the accused woman, has a child. And the lady was there trying to defend her mother, I'm talking about this and that. Yeah, we poor with this, we couldn't afford medical, whatever, and lawyers and whatever, I'm saying. She was saying a lot of things. And I couldn't help but notice the stuff she mentioned. She mentioned something about a big boss who was running the show, which raises questions of this Chinese mafia that could be operating Limesons. So of course operating with the big people Limesons. I'm talking about it's a scramble for South Africa at this point. I'm saying? It's a scramble for South Africa, but like it raises questions. I was right. South Africa is become a base of operations, become a playground for illicit crimes by foreign nationals. The fact that you're able to come across the border so easily, smuggle I don't know how many people into the border is insane. She said something about how the accused or the accusers know everything, possibly the judge too. So I didn't do research into who the judge was, or who sentenced them, who are the prosecutors, or whatever. The people that study law and understand law know what I'm talking about, what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do some research, but like, she made these couple claims, and like, I find it hard to not believe her. It's very difficult to say, because judging by how stuff have been happening in this country, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if the president himself is actually running the show. Nah. Why get them imprisoned in the first place? You know what I'm saying? I would imagine that, okay, if they're actually running the show, if they're actually part of this and they're benefiting from this, I would find a way to ensure that, these people come out. It's the reason I honestly think that they're not going to last 20 years in there. They're going to be out in maybe a few months. That's literally how I think. You know what I'm saying? It's literally that, bro, we see it every day with simple people that murder. There's individuals, people that murder, that kill, that steal, that murder and killing is the same thing. But people that murder, that steal, that rape, they spend a few weeks, if not days, in prison, then they're out. It makes you wonder, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? What's going to stop them? Especially because they have a boss, a big boss, multiple bosses. bosses who are from this country too. She said something about how the boss is actually in charge and running the show. So how they were the way they went the ones who, hey bro, okay, this one is they're just trying to defend their people, bro. She said something about how they weren't the ones actually inflicting the pain or whatever. How it was actually they were just following orders because they're afraid to be killed by their boss. Something as stupid as that. And that they couldn't understand English, which is BS. It's BS. That's BS. That's a whole lot of BS. That's a whole lot of Suzu. You don't understand English, but you was able to keep this going for this long. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You don't understand English sharp, but you understand English when there's money involved. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I just find this odd. I find it odd. Something's off here. Something is off here. Not that it matters. Not that it's going to change my life or your life. But like something is off. For real. Something is off. But yeah. I feel like at the end, and I'm kidding.